All right, in a couple seconds, that's gonna pop on. I don't want y'all to get nervous when y'all see yourself on screen.
Oh no, just
There you
my hair.
go.
Oh, I see it.
All right, y'all. Welcome. This is Lunchtime. This is your boy G Money. If you didn't hear, what we're doing today is we are doing a tribute to every one of our past guests that's been on any show here on the Big Time Radio Network. That includes Lunchtime. That includes Bus Stop. That includes Sessions from Around the World. That includes some of our shows that we don't even have anymore, like Trillaway or Bars Block. So what we're doing is we're showing appreciation for anybody that took the time to come here and be part of the phenomenon. that we like to call Big Time Radio Network. And it's fitting that when we're talking about guests that's been here before, to have a return guest come through today. So before we get this rest of the show started, I want to make sure we give a special thank you and a special appreciation to a returning guest who brought a friend today. So I want to reintroduce some of you all to Miss Rebecca Pierce, and she brought a friend today, who y'all know me. She already told me she don't talk, so y'all know I'm gonna make her talk. So I'm gonna start off with her. Please introduce yourself, Miss McEachern.
Good morning, good morning. My name is Glenda McEachern, and I am excited to be on Big Time Radio today.
And we're excited to have you. We really are. And like I said, I'm gonna pick with you, but don't take it personal. And speaking of picking, one of we've had this guest on before. We enjoyed her a great deal. I'm gonna be honest with you. One of the reasons why we enjoyed her a great deal is because she knew the assignment. When she came in the last time, and I'm saying the last time, with treats. This time she came in empty-handed. As bus driver walks in the building, bus driver.
Empty-handed in That is crazy. I got on this morning.
Yeah. Let me get you. Yeah,
we're gonna shuffle for a second.
Yeah, she walked in here empty-handed, and she did tell me why she walked in empty-handed. Not that it matters to us, but she did say. But I do want to give a special shout out and a special welcome to Miss Rebecca Pierce for coming in here today.
Thank you.
Sounds without treats. What did you bring us the last time? I mean,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what was it?
I don't remember. It was an assortment of cupcakes.
Yes.
And I think maybe some cookies and brownies. It was an assortment of treats.
Yeah, it was, and it was delicious.
Yes.
But we didn't get any this time.
No, you did not get any this time because they went to a better cause.
Oh, you shouldn't have to say better cause.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah, this interview's over.
Wait,
No,
hold on, wait.
Talk
So I'm assuming it's either starving children in Africa, homeless people.
It's actually starving actors.
There you go.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Come on, bus driver.
I gave it to
All
my
right,
cast. I'm
okay.
sorry. I gave it.
All right, that's fair. But that's fair. All right, we'll give you that. I think we can let it go.
You can.
I'm not.
It'll be worth it.
All right. Also in the building we have my partner, Mr. Driver himself, bus driver. What's going on, brother?
What up, though? Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
All right.
Great.
So like we said, this is gonna be an interesting show. I didn't mean to hit two applause. This is gonna be an interesting show. I don't know why this headphones is picking up this thing, but we're gonna get through that. This is gonna be an interesting show. We got the guests here today to talk about an incredible event that's going on. And I'm going to pretty much let y'all handle that. I'm going to pretty much let y'all, Miss Glenda, I'm going to pretty much let you start it off about what are y'all here for? What are y'all here to talk about?
We're here to talk about the.
First of all, hold on. I didn't catch it earlier. I heard the accent there.
The Jersey girl stuck in the Virginia world. I'm sorry. It's there. You can take me out, but I'm still there. We're here to talk about the Critical Race Black Theater Project. Rebecca called me. We worked together on some projects. That Colorblind Kind of Love in 2017, which is a stage play that Rebecca has written. Such a prolific writer she is. And Murder on 2nd Street. We've done so many projects together. She's like, hey, I got something you could do. You want to be a stage manager? I'm like, what? So I've been on stage before. I'm the background person. I'm the crew person. I worked in film production. I said, sure, why not? Let's give it a try. And so talked about her book, 2-stage play called Belle Blue. And Belle Blue will be at this program on Saturday, August 3rd, sold out, sorry, and August the 4th, Sunday. I am so excited to be partnering up with her again. We're like the yin to the yang. She gets real hyper, like, calm down. But then she'll call me heifer, I'll call her woman, and everybody's like, what?
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, really, but we just love the arts,
Yes.
film, theater, just bringing people on.
You tricked me.
Uh-oh.
You tricked me. Yeah. You had me thinking you was gonna be on here nervous and won't gonna say nothing.
See, that's why I didn't say nothing. I was like, we gonna find out.
You tricked me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to see how you stumble and fall, but you really tricked me on this one. I'm
I
accepting.
always be nervous.
Right,
That's
you know,
it, man.
she walked in here, bus driver. One of the first things she was like, I was like, okay, you shouldn't have told me that. It's like
You should've
seek and
looked at me.
destroy.
I was calm. I was like, they're gonna find out. Don't believe
Yeah.
that.
We on air. Everything changes.
Right.
So yeah, back to that. I'm very happy to have y'all here. Like I said, when we were here, when Rebecca was here last time, we spoke about her, her writing and all that, and she had said something about a different project, and I thought that's what this was, and then I heard more about it, and I'm really excited about this going on. I did not know. And even if y'all might have said something earlier, I did not know if this was more geared to us
Yes.
than anything. Explain that to me. Explain the importance of our community in what you're doing right now.
Well, this weekend is dedicated to Black theater. So when I moved to Richmond in '99, we really only had one space that was kind of dedicated specifically for Black theater, and that was a theater by Jerome Scott Smith. And then, which is actually where I got my first opportunity to present one of my plays in his space, which is now the Aleba Folklore Society building on Broad Street. So since then, we haven't had a dedicated space or time for Black artists,
Okay.
for their works. And so Mr. Tony Q. Cobb, my favorite man on the planet, Sherilyn Guerin and D.L. Hopkins, they had an opportunity to come together, and they talked about, we need a space for Black theater, we need an opportunity. So they've created this critical race theater project this weekend at the Richmond Triangle Players Theater. They have graciously given this space for Tony and his compadres to allow bring in 4 Black artists to showcase our work. And this is important because, first of all, I just came back from the International Black Theater Conference, and that's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and it's still going on until the end of this weekend. And this theater, that festival has been going on for 35 years. My issue or concern is that why that hasn't come up here to Virginia.
Yeah.
In other words, Virginia right now is, to me, as an outsider looking in, Virginia is one of the only states that does not have concentrated Black theater programming. So if you want to see Black art, you got to go to DC, or you got to go to North Carolina when the festival's here, or you got to go further down. And so what I think Tony and his team are doing is they're trying to finally someone actively put us in the conversation, because we're not in that conversation. This is the heart of the Confederacy.
Right.
Virginia, this is the heart of the South. Why is there no dedicated opportunity for those of us who are here?
I think you answered your own question.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
of course, yeah. And so, their job, their mission is to change that narrative and to begin with these 4 artists, including myself, to present. My work is a full-length play. We have 2 short plays, and then we have dance, African dance. So it's an opportunity for us to show Richmond, which I struggle with. I'm tired of showing. We're here, and we deserve to be here. We've proven that we are here. But this is a chance for y'all to see the great talent and art that's coming out of Richmond. So this is exposure.
First of all, Tony, I've never met the gentleman.
You gotta meet him.
Never met him.
You gotta meet Tony.
I've heard more. I've heard
Mr. Tony Q. Cobb.
I've heard his name more in the last 2 months than
Right.
I've ever, and it's like, even as far as Real Voices, a show we have on network hosted by Gary Hughes,
Yes.
which hopefully both of y'all at one point will be on. I did that for you, Gary. So
Hey, Gary.
I'm
Gary.
gonna tell you later what she said.
Oh, not me.
But
Not me.
anyway,
What she said was. I wasn't here, so I don't know.
but I know Gary and Tony have been speaking about
Yes.
getting on the show, and if Tony's listening right now, bro, you are welcome to come on here.
Absolutely.
I think that we need more people like you all to address this problem that we have.
Right.
Richmond is one of the most talented
Yes.
areas
Right.
in Virginia, in the world probably. We have talent ranging from artists to musicians to poets to everything. But we are not mentioned when you talk about the mecca of
Yes.
it's always New York, Atlanta,
Right.
Cali and stuff like that. This is an opportunity for them to show. How were you fortunate to be one of the ones picked is what I'm like, out of, I'm not gonna say how were you fortunate.
Well,
I mean,
no,
you said you were chosen,
Yeah,
but yeah.
I'll say this. I know Tony because he was one of the first actors to take a chance on my work.
There go that Tony
So
name again.
Tony was an actor for one of my first productions in Richmond, and I've loved him ever since. And the role of Raymond Turner in Murder on Second Street that I came and spoke about a couple months ago, which is my novel that we developed as a film, I specifically wrote that for Tony. And I told him, I said, when I was creating this character, I was thinking about you because I feel he's the kind of actor that should have been on Broadway. I mean, he's high caliber professionalism. And so Tony said, because I asked the question too, why did you pick, why are you asking me? Because when I got the email from Sherilyn, I was like, say what? So I was like, okay, this is a new thing. And Tony knows that I have been pounding the pavement with my own work for the past 2 decades. I mean, my work, I've been in New York, I've been in DC, I've been in North Carolina, and I've had to, try to do my own work here in Richmond. So, when they were having a conversation about who are the people that we would like to help us launch this, I'm so grateful that Tony, that everybody knew who I was, and they said, yeah, we want to ask Rebecca. And of course, this is groundbreaking.
Yes.
I want to be the first in that. I want to help that. I want to be a part of that. So it was an absolute yes for me. So that's how I got involved in it. So
you
when
can
you
hear
do
the passion in her
Yeah.
voice. I mean, she's
Yeah.
very passionate about what she does. Her novels. I mean, you can Google
Yes.
Rebecca, and that's what we see about her. Even when we have our rehearsals, she is passionate. She sits there.
You
like
mean the
she
rehearsals
didn't
that she
write.
brought everybody treats?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
Lovely muffins.
Wasn't the first time
Good. But her passion, she sits there and she's watching her book come to life through the actors, and she's like, sometimes I figure I wrote this because she's so engaged and engulfed with the actors, and so I see that Tony Q. Cobb sees her passion to bring her gift to the city of Richmond and just blow it up.
and tell our stories. That's
Yeah,
the most
yeah,
important
yeah.
thing. For
Tell
me,
the stories.
representation is so important. And I've seen some stuff lately that I feel it's got to go. Because it is not giving space for grace and growth and love. And to me, theater's job is to reveal truth to you and then allow you to decide what you want to do with that. So I feel that the artists in Richmond who know me know that when I create put a work together, I'm doing it with care. I'm doing it with our people in mind in terms of this is about humanity and how we treat one another, how we should treat one another. And this is history. I do not want us to forget our history. So everything I do has components of our story from the 1500s to the present. And I'm showing you the value and the intricacy and the genius of who we are as a people. I don't put any old thing on the stage or on the screen or in a book because words to me are sacred. And I know how our people have fought to be able to bring us to life through
Oh, we need a
the
class.
colonizers' words. So language is everything to me. So I don't play with it. And all my students know, my cast know, my people know. Don't play with me. Don't play with our people like that. That's not funny to me.
Yeah, I see the
So
passion.
I am intense with that. Yes, I am.
As you should be.
Yeah.
So this is the first time,
Yes.
but it will not be the last.
I pray to God not. Not if I can help
I mean,
it.
you sold out. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
you kind of
That's
know.
sold out.
Yeah. It's and it's something that the area needs. It's definitely something. You said you were in a you went to a conference in North Carolina,
Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Yes, first I went there for the Black Theater Network Conference, which is the academic arm of Black theater. So these are Black scholars, Black actors, Black theater owners. Do you know we only have 8 Black-owned theater spaces in the United States of America? And 2 of them were at our conference.
Oh wow.
One in Houston, the Ensemble Theater in Houston, and then Woody King. They have a space, Woody King, the New Federal Theater, that's been around, one of the longest ones. But the academic arm of the conference is to instruct us and teach us about what are the changes happening in Black theater. What are some things we still need to work on? It's bringing young Black students who are theater majors, coming in and giving them space to hone their craft and to meet maybe some of their people that they've read about, that they've studied. And then following BTN's conference, they make it a point to be there every 2 years, because after BTN ends, then the International Black Theater Festival starts in Winston-Salem. And so with that festival, you come and see some of the best shows by Black artists, Black theater in the United States, and you get to come and see, you know, the musicals that are hitting Broadway or off Broadway, the drama plays. You get to sit in on workshops that are, again, about the craft of acting, or readings. They have scripts that are in development. You get to sit in and hear those stories that are emerging, and you get to see some of your favorite Black actors that you grew up watching, like Anthony Fargas was there this time, the Huggy Bear.
Huggy Bear.
Jesse from All My Children was there. Mr. Harry Lennox was our guest speaker for the BTN conference, and he is powerful. Powerful speaker. So
Yeah, hold on one second. If y'all don't know, Harry Lennox.
yeah,
is,
the Blacklist. Y'all need to go.
yeah. Well, no, I wasn't even gonna go that.
Oh,
One of my
right.
favorite movies of all time is
Yes.
Five Heartbeats.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Five Heartbeats.
Yes,
He was
yes.
dressed in Five
Yes,
Heartbeats.
he was.
Ah,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Thank you.
So what I got out of that conference, and I told people that I attended the conference with, that you know, they're having conversations about the growth of Black theater, and guess who's not in that conversation? Virginia.
Mm.
And I had to raise my hand to say, hold up, wait a minute.
Well, it was because you were there.
I will be the rep for Virginia,
Yeah.
because we need to be in this conversation. If you're talking about growing this process, if you're talking about moving it to other places to get more exposure, then why is Virginia not on that list? And this is what I said. We should be in every conversation about there being Black theater in the South.
Right.
Virginia needs to be in it. And I know that there are some groups in the Tidewater area that are working hard to do the same thing. My hope is that after this event this weekend, that I can connect Tony and his crew with some of the people from the conferences, and see, you know, again, how we can pull up Black theater here in Richmond and make that also connected to all the other Black theaters that are emerging out of this country.
As a plug for my family, when you were talking about it, I was just informed, and I completely forgot. I had a cousin that was at the festival. Eli Breeden.
What was
He has his play was called "You Cook, I Clean."
Oh, okay.
He was there, so we're trying to have him on here
Yeah.
soon too. So it's amazing when you think about the rich culture Virginia has, Richmond has,
Yes.
to not have,
Yes.
you know,
A place in the storytelling
right.
mechanism. Yes.
like
Yes.
we need a bookmark. We need something to say, hey, we are here.
Right.
And like we have great actors, we have
Yes.
great writers. Obviously, we have great writers.
Right.
It's just something we need to kind of work on. What is
Well,
your
that's what
idea?
the festival. That's what
Yeah,
this
okay.
festival this weekend is about. Because I mean, being here since 1999, my son will be 23 next week. Been here 25 years now, and the whole purpose what Tony and them are doing is creating our own table to have this conversation. I've always said nobody comes to Richmond looking for not Black actors, but let alone they do not come here looking for Black writers.
Right.
And so, you know, this is an opportunity to showcase, you know, the four performances. The ages range from millennial to Gen X, and even a little bit younger and a little bit older.
Wow.
And that just shows you that we've all been on this same journey of trying to create stories that our muses have given us, and then give them a place to be birthed. And that is important. So we're here, and we want the world to know, listen, don't just come here to make slave movies.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
There's a lot of talent here, from our muralists, our artists, our musicians. We got a great jazz scene here in Richmond. We got some great singers here in Richmond. You know, and we got a huge attachment to Black history. So you know, we need to be in this conversation and or creating our own table to build chairs around.
We understand your idea of why it was important to do this, and we understand the steps you're making to make it happen. What else can we do as a community, as a people, as supporters for the art, what else can we do to kind of to boost this up, to boost the chances that we can, have more representation in the film industry?
I think a lot of it has to do with funding.
Yeah, that is
Getting
it.
those with the deep pockets that will bring out the money, because
Yep.
it takes money to make movies. It takes money to have the theater. And this is really nice because the Triangle Theater, it was free.
I love the way you say
So
that word.
Theater, right? It's like Jersey meets.
I was trying to let it go. She kept saying, I'm like, I gotta say something. I'm gonna say something.
Like bus driver.
Right.
But the funding, I work. I'm an executive board member of the Virginia Production Alliance, where they go to Richmond, to the Capitol, to advocate and try to get funding and film incentives here in Richmond, fighting for that because we go against what's happening in Atlanta. They get big dollars in Atlanta, but here it's just reaching out to those who have the big money, the big pockets. What can you do? And then of course it's almost like give and take.
Right.
Of course they want, okay, if I'm going to give you $100,000, what am I going to get out of it? So you have, quality actors, quality writers, and just even having
Quality
workshops and
Yes.
webinars and seminars, reaching out to the HBCUs,
Yes.
different colleges.
Well, putting theater
Yeah.
back in HBCUs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of our
Yeah,
HBCUs are
yeah,
pulling it,
yeah,
right?
They are.
And it's
they
also encouraging and supporting the community and reimagining what Black stories are. One of the comments I heard coming out of the Black Theater Network from the young people was that stories that were being told to us about what young people are saying is that they're tired of the old plays that show us down. They're tired of the trauma plays, is what they're calling it. The problem is if you don't know where you've been, then you have no idea where you're going. And so we got to come up with a new way to imagine our stories, and they're not from the beat down version. We need to show elevation and progress and movement. And so how the community can help us is to begin to reimagine how storytelling can be both cathartic, empowering, uplifting, fun, and joyful. So coming out to shows other than a certain type of genre play. Coming out to see a little bit of real storytelling that is impactful in a way that's going to elevate you and help you to grow. And it's also, we need you to buy tickets to our shows. We need you to show up at the shows. We need you to also encourage your children to dream. That's a big thing. I spoke about this at a church a couple weeks ago. Don't tell these babies that being an actor is a pipe dream. Don't tell them that you can't make no money being a writer, so don't major in English. Hello, plug there, right? Don't tell them that they, what do you mean you're going to do lighting? What is lighting? What do you mean you're going to make costumes? What is it? Encourage your young people to dream big and to go after it, because if they have the support and the space and the capacity to dream big, can you imagine the kind of world that we can have?
Right.
So we need you to do all those things. Bring us the money, bring us the people who might have it, show up at our shows, encourage us to create more, be open-minded with the shows that are here, and talk up Black Richmond. Talk up Richmond, period. Talk up Virginia. Talk us up and travel to see these shows. Come out.
And that's one thing, like I do love is the passion that you have behind that, because that's one thing, and I say this all the time, like you saying, like you want parents to encourage their kids, like you said with lighting and stuff like that. People need to understand how important art is in the world.
We wouldn't be here without it.
Exactly, and that's like COVID. That's my prime example. I've told this story 100 times. When you really think about it, during COVID, what were people doing? They were sitting at home, they were listening to music, they were watching movies, they were playing video games. All of that is art, and we need to appreciate the people who are actually doing it, and once again, encouraging the next generation of that. Because it's needed. Like, and it's wild, because you do have people that would say, oh, don't be an actor, that's a pipe dream. But you going to the movies, or you sitting at home watching these shows all day.
You spending money going to those movies and watching those shows.
With these actors that you're telling your child not to be. It's just, I love the energy behind the arts, especially in the city, because y'all know I'm not from here, so it's like being, I guess, a transplant, and just understanding and recognizing the beauty and the art that is Richmond, and the talent that is here. It needs to be talked about more. It needs to be, everybody needs to know. You know what I'm saying? Because you always have those couple jewels. You know what I'm saying? A couple people that may kind of squeeze out or whatever. But this area in particular, because I mean, of course, I feel like you had a 757. You know, they kind of get their love from Pharrell and all of that. But this area particularly, it doesn't get the
No.
love and the respect and the admiration, honestly, that it deserves. So
for the artistic side.
absolutely. So thank you for that. That's I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have to do more. What you said earlier, and Trevor just kind of reiterated on it. There's so many people out. There's so many young people out here today that dream of being the next Denzel, the next,
And we got him in our
Morgan.
cast.
and that's a good thing.
Yes.
There's so, right. You know what?
Or Singleton too.
Yeah. There's so many out there that might be discouraged because they've been being told that it's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, how many people out here we're giving our money to? How many people out here we're supporting? That if they would have had somebody in their life to say, yeah, you can't do that. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, you can go get support that movie if you
want
to.
Right. You know what?
Yeah.
And it's not just like you said. It's not just the actors, the big names. It's the Williams. It's
the score.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
all the little intricacies.
That actually leads into what the premise of Belle Blue is about.
Well, let's. That was my next question.
That's
Let's
perfect.
talk about that.
Yeah.
See, I told you I do this. This is what I do.
And you're good at what you do.
Yeah.
So I saw someone recently write that Belle Blue is about a woman who says she doesn't need a man. That is not what this story is about. That is an unfair interpretation of a work without really finding out what the work is. So we got to be very careful with putting labels on something that you're not familiar with. But Belle Blue is about how our fears as black women, the experiences that we have had, how it has been in many ways so crushing that when we see our children wanting to bloom and blossom and grow and lead, we will put our fears onto the next generation.
Okay.
This is about a young woman. This play is set 1968, 1974 in rural Virginia. Because here's the context. When we talk about the civil rights movement and the women's movement, we talk about it from an urban perspective. We don't really talk about the rural world and the impact these movements had on young people in the rural communities. So Belle is a young black girl in a rural town in Virginia. She is from what we would call a poor family, a struggling family. It's just her and her mom now because her father's deceased. And Belle only went to the 8th grade. She's bussing tables at a local diner. She finds this book. Someone leaves behind a book. And that book begins to encourage her to reimagine her life in a different way. And that book is I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. But Belle's now attempt to see herself in a different way conflicts or collides with her mother's interpretation of what it is to be a black woman. You find a husband, you have some children, you make sure that man has a pension, and that's it. She says to her, you are a black girl with no education, you have nothing to offer the world, so why don't you just go find a husband? And Belle rebels against that idea. She's like, I don't want that to be my story. And she's trying to convince her best friend and her mother that there are other options. And her mother sees that the outside world, this movement is impeding upon her daughter, and she's fighting that. But at the same time, Belle's mama is married to a man who's whooping her tail. And so Belle sees the hypocrisy in her mother's commentary. And so Belle devises a plan to get away from her mama. And we see it backfires spectacularly. But at the end of it, Ma Nisi realizes that there is other ways to be. And she gets another opportunity to do it right this time. So that is the story. And it's, I wrote that story when I was 30 and a new mother. And my whole idea behind it was I didn't want to pass on to my son the anger and the frustration and the abandonment and the rejection that I felt from my father. I was told at 12 and 16 I was never going to be anything. And I was told that by my father. You're never going to be anything. You're just like your mother. You're never going to be anything. And those words haunted me. And so when I became a mother, I said, I don't want to give him this. This is not what I want to give my son. I want him to find out for himself, not only who his grandfather is, but who he is. I want him to have that. I don't want to give him this inheritance. And so that writing it at 30, now hearing it at 51, I'm like, who the hell wrote that? Because I'm like, where did that come from?
You wrote it because you are so passionate, as you was just saying that.
Right, but it's so interesting here when you finally get, this is the thing about writers, we just want to hear somebody say our words. The words were given to us, now we want to hear somebody else say the words. And that's the power of theater, and that's the power of this particular show. Because as we're watching these phenomenal actors that I would like to name, under the direction of the phenomenal Jeremy Morris, right? It's powerful to realize that you've created a work where not only do the actors fall into the characters, but they believe what is on the page in such a way that they are connected to it. And so this story is more than about a man. It's not that. It's about us as a people, as human beings, and the desire to just dream about who we could be. And all we need is for somebody to say, go ahead and try it, baby. Go ahead and try it. That's all we need.
Even the rehearsals, the actors, they get so deep, some of them
Yeah.
just have to walk away.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of triggers, there's a
not
lot
easy.
of violence, there's culture language,
Yes.
and there's adult language. And
That's the
even
one.
myself, when I sit there and look at some of the actors, and some of them, they get so in character, you're sitting like, okay, maybe I need to get up from this right now because
It's heavy.
trigger, it is very heavy. It's very heavy.
Let's not, I mean, I'm sure the actors are incredible, and we're
Yeah.
going to name each one.
Yes.
But let's not take away from the person that put the pen to the paper. You put your heart and your soul into that. I can tell from your passion that you did that, and it's they're reading, like you said, they're reading your words, but you found a group of people that were able to take your words and create magic with it.
Yes, absolutely.
And it is sounding extremely interesting right now. And for y'all people that didn't get tickets,
Well, here's the hope for all of our shows, all the shows that are being performed. The hope is that, as always, it will be seen, and then we will get opportunity.
it sounds like you need opportunities because that sounds amazing.
Yes.
So, speaking of the amazing cast,
Yes.
before we announce the amazing cast for this, I want to sit here and publicly, any cast member that's listening right now, you are welcome to come here to Lunchtime
Yes.
and sit and talk with us. I'm not targeting this particular group,
Right.
but we would love to see some of the younger artists here, and we would love to see some of the older artists here, because I want to show that this is not just a phase that people are going through. This is amazing that you can do this. So, if you can, just run off a couple of your oh, she said ready. Okay.
Yeah.
She's going to do it.
All right. Okay.
I am?
Oh.
Okay,
You're going to do
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
I'll help you, though.
And there, I'm not going to go in particular order, but I would like to give a huge shout out to this gentleman from Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes.
He lives in Maryland now.
Yes.
And he drives from Maryland
To
to Richmond
rehearsals.
for rehearsals.
4 days a week.
4 days a
Oh,
week.
wow.
From 6:30 to 9:30.
Yeah.
And his name is Marquise Johnson.
Yes.
Shout out to you, Marquise.
Amazing. He
Amazing.
plays the role of Doc.
Ooh.
And Doc is devious.
Yes,
I should
he is.
say that. Then we have a gentleman who plays Daddy Boss. Or some people say Daddy Boss. I say Daddy Boss. And his name is Isaac Watson.
Phenomenal actor.
Whew. Have you raising it in your seat? He's one of the ones that I had to walk out. 'Cause he goes into characters so well. Miss Michelle Washington, gentle soul,
Yes.
such a sweet person. One of Rebecca's favorite characters who plays Patience. And Patience is our one who found a man who has children, and she loves her life, but Belle had her thinking, there's other ways. And then we have our narrator, our midwife,
Oh.
and our reverend,
The phenomenal
Diana Carver.
Diana Carver, baby. That's Diana Carver.
Yes.
Yes. She is
Our
fantastic.
traditional. She is
All right.
fantastic,
Yes.
and she
Yes.
brings it. She
Yes.
really brings it. Mr. Darrell Brown.
Yep.
Pretty famous. He's getting a lot of roles, film, and he's loving being on stage, and he practices. He said the music. Oh man, you have to hear the music from the 70s.
Oh, the music's gonna be off the
music
charts, y'all.
kicks in.
The soundtrack.
And yes, that playlist is awesome.
Yes.
So Mr. Darrell Brown.
Yes.
Then going down the line.
As Bird, Darrell plays
He's
Bird.
Bird.
Yes.
Yes, and Bird was in love with Belle.
Yes.
He's a college man, but he came home because of his love. He says it is because to
Help his
run
father
his
with the store.
store. Yeah, run the store. Right.
But we all know the truth.
But we all know the truth. Yeah, we all know the truth. Going down the line, Ms. Lindell Banks.
Woo!
She is
Bad
my
mama
niece.
jamma. Bad
Yeah,
mama jamma.
she's the one that said you got.
She gonna bring it, y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. Beautiful woman,
Yes,
beautiful soul,
beautiful.
and she just brings it hard.
Mhm.
That old school hard mom. Then we have, who else is left?
We have our Belle. Mm-hmm.
Our Belle Blue, Miss
Mm.
Margie
Yeah, too.
Sutherland.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring her up too.
Yes.
Miss Margie Sutherland.
Phenomenal.
She is phenomenal. She goes in.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine, you not seeing this performer. She's awesome. And
Yes.
we have us our understudy.
Our understudy.
Oh
woo,
my
woo.
goodness, Miss
Des-
Mrs. Destiny Howard.
Yes.
Amazing. So she's an understudy for Patience and Belle.
Mhm.
Has memorized both lines.
She is so
She's
good.
awesome.
Oh my
She's
God.
awesome. She's also a writer. and
Yes.
She's a school teacher.
Mhm.
And who else did I miss? Did I miss anybody?
Our director, our illustrious director.
Oh, Jeremy Morris. He didn't just have
No.
rehearsals.
He did not.
We had what we call circle. And
Mm.
we might have said, what is your pet peeve? He would bring emotions out in the circle, and then every now and then he would look around and say, okay, company breath. And we would all inhale from our nostrils and exhale from our mouths, because he can see the intense,
Yeah.
how deep it is
Emotions,
as
yeah.
we brought it in. And we may ask the audience, may have to do that.
Yeah.
And who
Yeah.
else do we have?
We're gonna have a Q&A because they're gonna
Yes,
have questions.
Q&A after.
So we did them all. We have Belle, Patience, Nisi, Bird, Daddy Boss, Doc. Then our narrator / Reverend Collins and midwife, and then our director, and then of course the stage manager is Glenda. She's our illustrious stage manager. Woo!
Remember we were telling you off air, we were talking about the thing we're doing here on the network, Ambitions, written by Gary Hughes. Destiny is in that.
Oh yeah.
Destiny is part. Destiny is part of
Someone got that
Ambition.
name sounded
Go
familiar.
Yeah,
girl,
Destiny,
Destiny.
Destiny is definitely part of that.
And if you go to ROP Productions page on Facebook, or any of my pages on Instagram and Facebook, we have interview clips of
Okay.
the 3 characters, and then the gentlemen, their clips will go up tomorrow. So you can, through watching those videos, which are going to be part of the documentary that we're doing for this process, it'll give you a glimpse into these, not only who these actors are, but the characters they're playing, and how this work is informing their life as Black women and Black men doing art.
Emmanuel, our videographer.
Our videographer is Emmanuel Kazoa of DB Arcade. That's my partner also for Beyond the Plate, the foodie podcast that I do.
Right.
Okay.
So he's my partner in crime on that. He's also partners in crime with Chef Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you. And you brought up two.
Which I've heard about, and I've heard her name so many times, I've yet to see it.
You have brought about 2 issues on that sentence. One,
Kill me.
one,
you're
the
done,
fact
you're
that we're talking once again about you and your cooking, which again you did not bring.
He's still bitter.
And yeah, I'm very bitter. And Michelle. Michelle had one of the best
And
restaurants.
so
in
that's
Yeah,
all I heard was
Mom
in the
Michelle's
food,
Cafe.
and like, it's no
And-
food here, and that's the wild
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And again, but Michelle, every time Michelle is brought up to me, she tells me, Greg, I'm coming up there. I'm coming up there. You've been here twice since
You heard
Michelle.
that, Chef. You heard that.
You have been here twice.
I have.
She's gonna call. She's
I'll
gonna
have to
call
bring
you.
her in.
I'm gonna say the same thing that I said when we talked about her the last time after she didn't show up.
Oh wow.
Michelle, to this day, I have never, and this is no disrespect to anybody else I've ever had, I have never had a better smothered pork chop than
Oh,
I
you're
had
You're right.
at
You're right.
Mama Michelle. I
You're right.
never,
Yeah.
but yet she's still not here. Let me ask you another question. I know we got to get you out of here pretty
Yeah.
soon. You're actors,
Mm-hmm.
just so we know, because I feel that this is something that's going to continue to grow, and I feel that you in your infinite knowledge and your talent, are continue to produce great work. Where did you get your actors from? How did you get your actors?
Well, that's another issue. Sometimes casting in Richmond can be terrifying.
Right, and that's why I asked. Yeah.
We put out the word. I have a lot of contacts, so
Right.
matter of fact, how I got Jeremy was calling another contact that was a theater costume designer and director here, Margaret Joyner. I called Margaret and was like, help. So we have a network of people that I can reach out to. I can Tony Q. Cobb, Elroy Boyd III, Margaret Joyner, Shania Taylor. I mean, there's a deep network of people that I can approach and ask. But we put the word out on social media. We put the word out in our private networking conversations. And I went on to Facebook, and there are a lot of groups.
Time out 1 second. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Michelle says she outside.
With the food?
I mean,
Is
there food though?
So I don't know if she's making a joke or she really
said catch her outside. She about to beat your ass.
is she really outside or what? Well, she just sent me a message saying I'm outside.
But no, we put it out on social media. We put it out in our private networks. We put it out in there's some wonderful groups on Facebook for black actors, black theater,
That's
black
how
film.
Marquise found it.
Yeah.
Marquise, all the way from Maryland,
Yes.
came down and auditioned.
Because he saw
That's
it on
one of the
the
favorite
pages.
things I like to do is casting. You know, and I either sit with Rebecca and on our other plays and things, and I have said, and I have a pretty good eye for people, their acting, if this role is really, and we were kind of tossing again because I saw somebody for this one. It was like, no, Glenda, this one's good, and then it still worked out.
It's a collaborative effort.
It just still came together.
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort. You go to your well.
Yeah.
Go to the well.
And it
Don't let it
just
run
seems
dry.
like a fun process though. Like, just kind of course you've seen something that you've created come to life, but like just it's building, like just seeing everything kind of being built.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can only imagine like what that feeling is like, because I mean once you see the end product, and
Yes.
actually that's if we can, once your play is done, if you can come back, because I love to know like it's the little things for me.
Right.
So like, what was it like, just kind of seeing the audience reaction, saying to certain scenes, and
Right.
and just kind of seeing like your baby come to life.
Guess who's in his
I'm Bus Driver. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Y'all be talking about
But see, here's the thing though. See, we go for two on the day, and then
Yeah.
because I know you saw me lean over when I opened the door. I wasn't looking to see who it was. I was looking to see if it was cool or
But
not.
we
don't have any porch house
don't have
today.
a place. But you asked about networking. This is networking because
Absolutely.
she's a chef, I'm a baker, and so I'm in this world also of an industry that needs more exposure and opportunity. So when people say, how can you be baking and writing, it is easy for me to slip it in and out of both worlds because first of all, there's someone like this that's helping me to move into that world. But secondly, food is love, food is art, and food is history, and that's
Absolutely.
what
And food is non-existent at this exact moment.
I'm right down the street from you now.
Yeah.
Listen, I happen to be driving by, and I'm a fan, right?
Yeah.
So she texts me, she tells me I'm going to be on. I was like, that's right, I know, girl. And so when I plugged in and I heard the excitement, I said, oh no. So
She said, I heard my name.
I couldn't get in. I was like, you people ain't gonna let me in.
She said,
I kept texting you. I was like, so I went over to the vet next door and
Oh no,
made an
that's too
appointment
funny.
for my little dog. Yeah.
First of all, I just want to say this. This does not count.
Alright. Come back.
Yeah, this does not count.
Well, I'll tell you something.
It's
Can
0.5.
I want to make an announcement.
You
real quick.
can make it whatever.
I'm so excited. First of all, I'm so excited, and I didn't mean to just walk on.
Oh no, it's a
But
beautiful
I'm so
thing.
excited for you, and you know that.
Yes, I do.
And this is going to be wonderful. So you mentioned the 5 Heartbeats.
Right.
Yes.
So I happen to be a good friend of Tico Wells, who is choir boy. For
Choir
the
boy. Oh, I can, yeah.
Well, he's coming to hang out with me at the end of this month on the 21st, and so I'm bringing him around.
There you
So
go.
so that's gonna make up for
wanna
that some other
get-
pork.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
Hold on, time out, driver, time out. Driver, I love Tico Wells. You know,
But
you haven't had them pork chops. You have not had.
Okay, I'll try to work it out.
Yeah, you
I'll
have
try to
not-
work it out.
And I'll bring you a cupcake.
bring
with
him in
the
half a pork chop.
Yeah.
Can we do
So-
a couple sides?
So we'll talk about that,
Yeah.
and I'm excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
That's
I'm busting up in there. I'm busting up in everything.
Yeah,
I'm
I
busting
see
up
that.
in her on Sunday.
Yeah, she's coming with me. She's
Yeah, I'm
coming to
coming.
the show.
Mhm.
She's coming to the show.
I'm coming
Good.
definitely
She's my
coming to
plus
that.
one.
I might be loud and
We
obnoxious,
need loud.
but
It's
yeah.
There's going to be there are a
Yes.
couple scenes where the audience is they gonna be engaged. They gonna be engaged.
That's all I'm
I'll have my sign. 10. Yeah, I'll have my sign. I'll be ready.
Since we have you here,
Yes.
thank you, and it's you can't believe how much I'm laughing on the inside that you showed up, because when you put the message in, I'm outside. I'm like, is she serious?
You gotta catch me outside,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That was perfect.
Because I thought it was a threat. I really did think it was a threat. Because I'm like, do I need to call somebody about this?
I would calm her down. I would calm her down.
I've said many times, because we've been on the air with Rebecca, how much I have enjoyed your food the many times
Thank you.
I've been there, and I want to say that, not trying to force you to bring us something, but
No.
No,
you
but it's good
you
to
are
say
one
that.
of the
Yeah.
best. Your restaurant, your food was one of the best
I
in
appreciate
Richmond.
you. Thank you
I
so
mean,
much.
literally one of the best in Richmond. And I talk about the pork chops, but the greens and
Yeah, I was gonna say
but- yeah,
collard
the
greens.
greens
Wait, I
was
like
something.
collard greens, man.
And
And the fried fish.
They gonna make me go home and cook one.
I know.
well, that's all it took.
What else you got?
But no,
Oh,
that's good. That's good.
it was. I just wanted to make sure I say that, but I do appreciate you coming through here. But it does not count.
It doesn't count.
It does
well, the
not
reason
count.
is,
Yeah.
this
I don't
she
care
said
what
she's
the
gonna
reason
kill
is.
me.
It still does not
So
count.
and I text you, wait till you see the
She's gonna
text.
kill me.
I said, I am gonna kill
But,
you.
no, but the connection with food in the play, Nisi is almost always cooking. And that is
Cooking
part of
and
our
cleaning.
story. Yeah, that's part of our story as Black women. So the connection to food for us, if you're seeing a work of Black artwork, there is almost 100% of the time Black food cooking.
'Cause it's an
in
art.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
definitely an art.
So she actually came right on time.
Yeah. No, she did not.
Wait,
No.
You're mad about the food.
Yeah,
but it's
no,
the dollhouse
she
over here.
came. She came. We're glad that she came.
Man, because that would have been lunch and
Yeah, but the timing would have been a lot better if she came in with
a
a
plate. If the door had opened with a plate.
But I do agree with you. I agree that
Yeah.
that food is an art form, and
Yeah.
we have and again I'm praising you because you're sitting right beside me. But we have so many great restaurants and
Yes.
stuff
Yeah.
in the
It's a
Richmond
foodie
area
town.
that we should be known for that. And then like I'm a good friend with the owners of Mama J's, and then you
Right.
figure the Croker Spot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We get all that, and this sounds like a real ass show right now, but still, we get all of that.
Right.
But Richmond is not known for that, and it's a shame. It's really a shame. We have great actors, we have great writers, we're not known for that. What is
Everything you
our
want is here, for real.
right? What is
Everything you
our
want is here.
what is our identity? What is the identity of Richmond? Other than a few years ago, we were like one of the murder capitals of the world. What else is our identity
I kind of think that's still being formed, for real.
in 2024?
But because,
though,
because the reason why I say that, I mean, even like with the art scene, it's not that it hasn't been here. I feel like it's getting more exposure now.
right? Okay.
And it is starting to develop. Like, you do have a lot of people that are coming here from everywhere to kind of just be a part of what's happening in Richmond. And then, of course, going to the food, you can travel the world without leaving the city.
Right.
I think that's one thing that
Now
is,
you can, yes.
that's the beauty of it. But I think that's kind of what it is. It's still, because it's a lot of things that are changing. And then you have a lot of younger people, especially like working with the city, that are trying to kind of change the image of Richmond. Because I actually, like, one of my homegirls, like, she works for the city, but even like, with the Charged Up Festival, different stuff that's going on throughout the city, she's involved in that. So you do. I still think that it is,
Well, I
to a
think,
certain extent, that like it's still kind of it's still developing.
but I agree with him. It shouldn't be still developing.
Yeah.
Every other city's bigger Black cities in some ways already have their identity. I think one of the things historically that Richmond struggles with is deciding what kind of Richmond it wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are still, which you should be, still tethered to your past, you need to reconcile with that past. And this is what I meant when the young people are saying they're tired of hearing the old trauma plays. Yes, this is slavery. That conversation still should be happening. But can we create good art around it so that we can merge it with our current existence? The problem is there are people who want to capitalize in many ways on that hard past and not allow it to be that transformative story that it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
So those people got to get out the way. If Richmond wants to be a part of the growing conversation in terms of art and food and culture that we see other black cities beginning to emerge into, then it has to let go of that. And right now, it ain't ready for that.
And I think that's the unfortunate part, because it's like you want to see it, and it's like you see, it's like it's bubbling below the surface. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of waiting on that.
And we're
that
outsiders
moment.
looking in. I'm not from here, but I can see what needs to happen. It's really the people that are entrenched here, that have deep roots here, they have to be the ones to finally decide to let go.
And it's so close. Like it's almost
It's
like
right
you know,
there.
it's right
on
there.
the edge.
You know?
It's right on the edge. But that's a whole other show. That's a whole other show.
Well, I want to once again thank you all for coming through, especially you. Surprising us like
Threatening
that.
and larking.
Yeah. No, I'm talking scared right now because I'm
Kamala
really,
Harris.
yeah.
You got something to say.
yeah. But I do want y'all, before we get out here, since we are here, do you have anything you need to promote since you're here?
Oh, shucks.
Yeah.
Yes. So when I closed down Mom Michelle's Cafe, I expanded our catering division, and so now we are a fully developed catering company, Minty's Catering, powered by Mom Michelle's.
Okay.
And so you can look us up on our website, www.mintyscatering.com. Also, I have a studio that you need to come through.
Yeah.
The Culture Mix Studio.
Here first. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, I owe you one.
Yeah.
And basically, I'm working with the community. Minty's Catering Company works with the city of Richmond to fix food for the homeless shelters, and that's what I'm most proud of, being connected to the community and just mentoring and continue. I haven't gone nowhere.
Nope.
Come see me.
Yeah. I know you didn't just say that.
You can contact me through my website. Just
find
come call on me.
All right.
Shops are waiting.
Rebecca, Glenda, please once again let everybody know how to get in touch with y'all. There's no tickets left at all,
as we know, there are
as far as you are, unless
As
they
far as we know. But if there's
stand
enough
in the room.
clamoring, if
Yeah,
there's
that's what I was
enough
gonna say.
clamoring, then, get us a space.
Clamor,
we
clamor,
can-
clamor.
yeah,
Let's go.
So again, the festival is this weekend, August 3rd and the 4th. Doors are probably going to open at 6:30. Shows start at 7, so the first 3 shows will go up, and then probably around 8:30 our piece will go up. It is a stage reading, but it's high level because we just didn't have enough time to do set construction and whatnot. But again, we still want you to support this Black Theater Festival. You can go to Richmond Triangle's website. They have all the information on there about the shows. And if you want to contact me directly about our work, you can contact me at info@rlpproductions.com. That's my initials, Rebecca Lynn Pierce Productions.com. And we just want y'all to come out and support all the shows because we put a lot of time. I mean, my actors have been in rehearsals for 4.5 weeks. And that should tell you that we're not doing any old stage reading. This ain't no sit down and that is it. They have put in the work. They have put in the time. I am grateful to House of Cards for allowing us to use their space to do all these rehearsals. And their show is going to be phenomenal. The other 2